Okay.
All right,
You niggas up there, but have fun.
I
Good luck.
got a question. I got a question.
Yeah.
You played Pretty off Lil Yachty's album.
Yes. I love that song, man.
And I think the album, I want to talk about the album.
So what? All right.
Before you get into that,
go ahead.
I want to talk about the album.
Yes, let's go.
Because before you try to tell me that he can't be in the house.
I don't know if I'm going to tell you that, man.
Okay, because before you say some blasphemy,
Okay.
I would like to point out that the first few songs I didn't know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And it really threw me for a loop. I was playing it and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then it continued and I kept playing it and I was like, this is amazing. And I'm a hater.
Yeah.
I'm a hater.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I really felt like I was listening to it like, this nigga can't sing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what he's doing because I like it.
I
really like it. And then it kept going and it kind of progressed and got better.
It did.
And I was like,
It did.
this hard.
Yeah.
I was really blown away.
Really good, man. It's really good.
I was really blown away because most people don't stick the landing.
Yeah.
Most people start a new thing and stop.
Okay.
This nigga stuck it all the way through.
He did a really good job. He did a really good job. Yeah.
And it blew me away. I mean, I'd probably give it an 8.5 or a 9, for real.
Yeah.
And the only reason I don't give it a 10 is just because like some of the songs were just kind of slow for me and I didn't really, I couldn't get with them.
It was a lot of experimenting
like
on there.
a lot of weird shit on there.
Yeah.
But when he hit it, when he hit the idea,
it hit.
And I'm super excited that he mixes this with the other things that he's already been doing.
Yeah.
You know, I love when people do the most creative shit, you know, and I feel like
just go outside the box, man. Challenge yourself. I
would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to watch him creating this album.
I'm looking at I'm looking for or looking at the credits right now because you know the people who are a part of this project. I mean, they definitely need some love, man. And honestly, I'm looking at some of these names I don't recognize, but really good project. I mean, I'm one of those I come from the hip hoppity era, you know, and coming in and you know, I hear, you know, the newer guys and say like, "Oh, I automatically turn it off." And it took me a while to start embracing them, but
it's a really dope era.
This project though. I mean, how I found it was that Friday when music drops, I go straight to the R&B section, and I see he's the first name up and the only name up that dropped something that week, and I'm like, okay, push play, because the last few times that happened, I think it was with like Drake when Honestly Nevermind came out, right, and it was in the section, so I'm like, okay, let's play it. Sticking the landing. I like how you said that. You know, it's, you know, we've seen plenty of artists, like I said, you know, Drake. I mean, even with, you know, your Gnarls Barkley, this is from this class. You know, your Steve Lacy's. You know, this is this alternative music.
Childish
Gambino, Kid Cudi. You know, this is that class. I mean, we've seen this before. We've seen, you know, even Wayne did it. So when he did, you know, went through his rock, you know, the rock era. I mean, we've seen guys express their talent and challenge their range, you know, in other ways. But the way Yachty did this one, man,
it's really impressive.
Really good.
It's really impressive.
Really good.
And I love that last night you and I talked about Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
And I asked you what you thought about Frank. And your thought process really is what made me feel so good about bringing this up today. Mm-hmm. You talked about what an amazing vocalist he is because of the unique ability of his vocal range.
Yeah.
And that's really where Yachty falls into, because you're not going to be talking about how amazing of a singer he is.
No.
But nobody sounds like that.
Yeah.
He sounds like Yachty.
It's I think you tried to get me on asking me if Frank Ocean was an elite vocalist.
You agreed.
You
agreed.
I was it was an immediate yes, but you know, when I think about it, you know, when I think about vocalists, I am going to think about, you know, the scale. I think that's important of going up and down the scale, right? So, You know, I'm not gonna say that, but there is a difference between you know, artists who can master their voice. You know, they reached an elite level with their voice, and I think that's what it was.
But that's not fair.
Why not?
Because if they're elite, they're elite.
I think that they're elite artists. I think they reached they're mastering and they mastered their artistry and so they're saying that I can do this, I can do this.
If you call someone a master,
Yeah.
that puts them on that pedestal. If they are a master, that is not a word that you use often.
But they're a master of their shit though. They're not because at the same time you're not gonna put you know, I'm gonna put Jasmine Sullivan up against Stevie Wonder, you know, when it comes to singing. I'm gonna do that because they both have they both master that skill. It's an art, talent, and it's also a skill. You got to be able to go up and down that scale. If somebody says go up, you can go up. Somebody says go down, you go down. You can go in the middle. Not everybody can do that. Some niggas got their falsetto, but it ain't as smooth as like I said, a Stevie or a Jasmine, right? I'm never gonna put Frank Ocean up against Jasmine. Never. I would never do that. That's not fair to him because that's not what he does. It's a little more.
It sounds like it's not fair to Jasmine because she can't do what he does.
But that's what makes, I think, Frank and some of these artists great.
I got to interject there
Go
just
ahead.
because at that point I really feel it's not. She can't do what he does. She just doesn't.
Well, that's the particular thing about Frank. He has a range that no one hits. Not because
No, he has a range that
he
niggas
has a
can
range
hit.
that he's mastered.
Yeah, he's just mastered it. It's like when you hear his voice, you're automatically captured. But he's not gonna be able to. He's not gonna ever be able.
Well,
to
how you know?
That's not what he do, bro. Come on,
because
now.
he's mastered one.
He's
He's mastered
on,
one
bro.
thing.
He's been in
He's
this
only
game for
had,
how long, though?
but he only got 2 projects, 3. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't even expanded on his skill set. You can't say that he can or can't.
Nigga, have you heard you watch him
I don't-
live them live shits on YouTube, haven't you?
Yeah.
I really
Nigga.
do think it does. It doesn't come down to can or can. It comes down to doesn't and on what they do. That's not what he does.
That's not what he do.
And if you scaling these 2 artists next to each other, you're scaling it's unfair. And it's not unfair because this one's better, this one's better. I do this and he does that. So you're scaling 2. We're on the
it
same.
wouldn't be fair. It'd be weird to
saying?
do. It's like
we're both singers, but we what we do with our voices and our talent and our skills are completely different. You know what I'm saying? Can one or the other do that? Maybe, but we do know that I don't. We do know that Frank doesn't. You know what I'm saying? That's where we.
It's your boy Blunt Fayaz, aka Hits, and yo bitch in the street.
I'm Key Lolo, Miss Mac if you're nasty, Kansas City Mac.
And this is Epitome, a.k.a. Big Bougie, and this is The Quiet Storm, where we play all of the best R&B and fill your mimosa glasses up at all times. Like and subscribe right now.
Like and subscribe.